Welcome back, Fun Fam. And if you're brand new to the channel, welcome in to Follow the Bradleys Fun. My name is Ron E. Bradley. I hope that wherever you are, you're having a phenomenal day, morning, afternoon, evening, middle of the night, middle of the morning. I don't know, whatever. Maybe you're having, maybe you're somewhere far north and it's your endless summer is just starting. But whatever it is, I hope that you're having a phenomenal day. Speaking of the day, as of the recording and live stream of this, today is the 13th day of May in the year 2025. It's Tuesday the 13th. Tuesday the 13th was never considered to be an unlucky day, so it should be good, right? It should be good. I see so many of you already coming in the chat. I really appreciate you guys being here this morning. I was having and prayers for Megan. I saw that in the chat. I was having some issues this morning, and I wasn't 100% sure that I was going to do or be able to do the show. And I thought about you guys and you being here and how much, like, honestly, right now, you guys have to know, you have to understand, like, it's not just about this show specifically. It is about kind of my life, and everybody, you guys included, we all need to feel like we have a purpose to go on. Obviously, my family is my biggest purpose. My wife, our son, our extended family and friends give me purpose. But as far as outside of just family, what is my purpose on the earth to humankind, if you will? And you guys kind of make me feel like I have some sort of a purpose, and relating my feelings about, and I know it may sound silly, pop culture and parks, recreation, all that kind of stuff, entertainment and stories. Humankind, going back to as far back as we know, humans have always relayed stories to each other in one format or another. Stories are our myths, but they're also our history. They're also our entertainment. They give us purpose. They give us joy. They bring people together. They create memories that last. And when it comes to theme parks and pop culture, and the reason that I cover it is because I am a fan of all of that. I'm a fan of humanity, and I'm a fan of you guys. Like, you guys, when you come here, it's really weird. YouTube culture can create a quote unquote fandom for YouTube personalities, and there are some great ones out there that definitely have fandoms and all of that. But I'm a fan of you guys. Because for most of my YouTube life, I was on the viewing end, not the creative end. So it's kind of a strange endeavor for me. I'm only 2 years, not quite 2 years. Oh, no, actually today marks the 2-year anniversary. I didn't even realize that. Not exactly the 2-year anniversary, the 2-year anniversary of me deciding that I might do YouTube. That sounds weird, right? So, and let me explain that after I share this with you, that you guys know this, that you guys get me out of bed every morning, just like the Autobots and the Decepticons of old. The Transformers need their energon to make them work. You guys are my energon that makes this guy transform and roll out of bed in the morning to be here with you.
A toast, Autobots. Boy, these are good. I needed to refuel. Energy! Energy! This stuff's the greatest!
Yes, but for me, it was Tuesday. I try my hardest. There's one little minor clip that I have a part of that that Pro sometimes shares on his, and I try to be original and not share any clips that that Pro uses. So that's why I don't use the Tuesday clip. But anyhow, but yeah, so the 13th of May, 2 years ago, I released a tiny little video that I filmed in my, I don't even know when I filmed it. I had it on my phone and I'm like, you know what, I'm going to put this up on YouTube today because it's something. And it was weird. It was like either after or before a hurricane, and the birds were surrounding my retention pond, and the tropical birds, and they're all standing there lined up, and it's a very odd thing that tropical birds do. Not often. I had never seen it before, but apparently it does happen from time to time. I still don't understand the phenomena myself, to be honest with you. But I threw it up on the channel, and it's there. It's still there. If you go and look 2 years ago on May 13th, 2023 is when I put it up. I wasn't 100% sure that I was going to like dive into the channel yet. I opened the channel in 2018 with the, I was going to do Disney Parks vlogs, daily vlogs, and that really never solidified. And then, in 2023, I was a huge fan of Valiant Renegade and WDW Pro, and so as Pro was getting his channel going and all that kind of stuff, and with that Park Place and all that, I'm like, you know what, I want to do my channel, and I really wanted to do a lot of positive things, and I try to keep this channel positive. It's about Follow the Bradley's fun. It's about fun. It's about even the news stories that aren't fun to cover. We make them fun, right? All the news that should be fun. And then it started growing, and I worked it, and I worked it, and I worked it, and I don't know what the official, like, when maybe it was May 25th, or maybe it was June 1st, or maybe I count as June 1st. I'm not sure what the official starting date of the channel, the way it is now, was. I don't really know that I have an anniversary for that, but none of that really matters. What matters is that I show up and be here for you, and that you guys are here for me, which I appreciate. And speaking of being here for you, I have let you all down so badly when it comes to my spread shop. Here it is. Yes, indeed. Let me go to the top of the tab. And what I mean is that I have designs. Like, the whole deal is that I want to create. I have shared my design ideas with some of you all, and you know what's coming. I just haven't done it yet, and it turns out I'm not going to be able to. It's actually going to end up being a at least partially hand-drawn design when it comes down to it. That's the way it's going to end up going down. It will not be completely digitally created. It's going to be part of it. At least one of the designs is going to be completely hand drawn. So it's going to take me a little bit more time, I thought, but it is going to happen. And I don't want to reveal it yet. Those of you that know, but it will be happening. But this is our spread shop here. And it is at Spread Shop, Follow the Bradley's Fun. I don't know if Go and Shogi is here. Go and Shogi usually puts the link in the chat. But anyhow, if one of the mods wants to put the link in the chat, we appreciate that. I'm getting ready to say hi to everybody, but there it is, the spread shop. You have the Make Disney Walt Again merchandise, boy, and that we're really going to be talking about that subject today. This is a very different kind of a show today. I'm going to mention a news story, but I'm also going to be sharing my own stories, and we may have somebody else who might want to share stories, whom I've sent a link to on X, I believe. They should have it. But there is the Fedora Finds. Those are our individual news story, because we're always looking around, and I'm usually wearing my hat, and we want to see what the Fedora finds. And there is the Follow the Bradley's Fun logo merch, which I'm not wearing today. It was yesterday. There we go. Tommy Tom. My boy, my pirate. Follow the Bradley's Fun. Arg. There's There's the spread shop link, but the link is in the chat. The link is all over the place on YouTube. It's pretty easy to find. We got 10% off on 3 items today. And if anybody purchases anything from the spread shop during the show, let me know, because I want to celebrate that. We do, as a matter of fact, we are going to talk about our. So there's going Shogi popping in here. We are going to celebrate all of that and all of you. But let's first say hi to everybody that's coming in. Dan's Life at the Kingdom. Hello, hello. He was first through the door this morning. Says, good morning. Epcot is on fire. I don't know if it is right now, but it's had plenty of them lately. That's for sure. Way too many. Our good friend, the polar bear. The Florida polar bear, Snortopoopas Cube Burr. Hello, humans and other critters. Hello. Snortopoopas, and J.D. Friel comes in hot with a good morning, everyone. That service dog. Ruff, ruff. Good morning, beautiful people. Please hit that like button on the way. I love it when people chat this, because I always forget to tell people to hit the like. And by the way, if you're watching the stream on the replay, please comment below. Replay gang, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. If you're already subscribed to the channel, check and make sure you're still subscribed to the channel, because I don't know why, but that sometimes is an issue. But yeah, check that out. Check it out. Fairbrick Studio from across the pond. Hello, Wayne. From across the pond. Does anybody remember Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous? What was that guy's name? You can let me know in the chat. What was his? Okay, somebody put in the chat the name of the host of Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous. Because while I've actually seen him face to face, I was standing like as close to him as I am to my laptop right now at one point in time in my life, and talking with him for a moment, and I'll tell you about that story in just a minute. I can't remember his name. It's not Regis Philbin. It's what is the guy's? Anyway, he talked like this: Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous. Izzo's Place. Izzo's Place. I've been enjoying some of Izzo's Place's videos and short lately. Hey Snort. Hey Fairbrooks. Equus Hart is here. Megan Meggs is here. Morning, everyone. Hello. Hello. And I believe Megan Meggs said, I'm in a lot of physical pain. Shows like this help me feel a little better. I hope, I hope I can make you feel a little bit better, Megan. I appreciate that. Everybody, prayers for Megan. You can put prayer hands in the chat if you want, but let's all pray for Megan to feel better. I'm feeling better than I was earlier today. It was when I woke up really early this morning, I had some issues. I'm good now. Much better than I was. And makeup mom and son. I haven't seen you all in a while. I got to go back and check out what you're doing on your channel too. Erica and Raph is here. Erica, check your X messages. Let me know. And then you don't have to join if you don't want to, but you got an invite. Snortopoopas Keeper. And this is me saying prayers. Let's see who else is here. Tom F. Tom F is in the chat. Dan's Life at the Kingdom in the chat. Izzo's Place says the 13th, but for me, it was Tuesday. I am doing my best, Equus Heart, to take care of myself. Aloha, Native Hawaiian. Aloha, aloha, aloha. Yes, fully understand. I used to get a feeling of purpose through reviews on fan fiction. Then I tried to start my own service dog channel. The response or lack of it can impact one's life in a way. I would say the hardest part about YouTube is you have to detach yourself from any results of YouTube. And it's hard because when you're doing YouTube, you're doing it because you care about something. Creative people care. We do. And when you care, when you have those feelings of care, you also have feelings that you want response. And you just gotta, it's very difficult to learn, but you have to learn how to detach from results, which is a weird thing. Weird. But I love it when you guys are all here. And to see the audience build over time, it's not, I know I don't have a huge audience. I don't have 100 people, 300 people, 500 people, 1,000 people watching like that. But I also do it a weird time of the day, 9:30 a.m. And I do a shorter show. So share it out. Today marks the second anniversary of 2 years ago. That's right. 2 years ago. Jeremy Heath is here. I'm trying to. I didn't miss anybody above, did I? I think Erica, Snort, Native, boom. I'm trying to see if anyone else. Q, Tom, Makeup, Equus, Tom, Going Shogi is here. Sue, the Bud Files, bum. And Snorted Poopus is sharing out the spread shop. I appreciate that, Snorted Poopus. I got to get you on the list and the mods and the opening. This I gotta keep up. It's hard to keep up. Let me see. Yes, I remember his accent, but I forgot his name. Oh, what is his name? It's Robin Leach. That's it. Robin Leach. Welcome everybody to Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous. There's rich people here, and I don't know why. That's what he said. Robin Leach. Yes. So here's my story of Robin Leach. Thank you guys for putting that in the chat. My story of Robin Leach is that if you watch the show long enough, you might know that one of my billions of different jobs that I've had, I haven't had billions. That's an exaggeration. I've had a lot of jobs. I was a gondolier. Funny thing is, when I turned on YouTube either last night or this morning, the first thing I saw was an advertisement for the Venetian with a gondolier. I don't think it was one that I knew, but I was a gondolier in the years 2000 and 2001 at the Venetian. And they were filming something. Robin Leach was really good friends with the Venetian's owner, whose name I also can't think. I don't know. I'm getting old. I forget names. Names because whatever. Anyway, Robin Leach was there, and I was in line. So it was my turn as a gondolier, just so happened to be. So I walked up to him and did the introduction. Benvenuti, Bergabella, Veneziano. Welcome to the Venetian Hotel. My name is Perron. I'm going to be your gondolier today. So I said all of that stuff too, all of the introduction stuff. And then one of my supervisors kind of came to me and whispered in my ear because they were filming something. And they're like, they prefer to have a female gondolier for this segment, which was weird because in Venice, they don't really have female gondoliers. It wasn't really a thing. I don't know if they do now, but they didn't at that time. Anyhow, that's what they wanted, and that's what they went with. But I was standing face to face with Robin Leach, telling him all that, about to welcome him onto my gondola, and I got cut off to because they wanted it. I got replaced by a girl boss. It was woke before woke was a thing. It was kind of funny. So, yes. So, for those of you that say, as a white male, I have any kind of privilege, kind of things taking literally my entire life. Being a straight white male has hurt me in opportunities way more than it's ever helped me. I guarantee it. There are just example after example after example in my life. I have been shoved to the side specifically because I am a straight white male. Happened over and over again. I'm telling you, it's like anti-privilege. It's like the opposite of privilege. And I'm not even kidding. I wish it weren't true, but there it is. I will be at the parks at the end of May. If you're going to be around, it'd be cool to catch up. I will be. I'll be around. I'll be in the parks. Let me know. I was supposed to catch up with somebody else in the parks this week, and it hasn't quite worked out timing wise. Been a lot of other personal things going on, but hopefully I'll be back at the parks. I definitely need to be this week. So, Dude Man Cause is here. Dude Man Cause. Um, Disney is on fire metaphorically, and they keep adding gasoline, but also physically. They had popcorn cart catch on fire, and the back of the Epcot was on fire in France. Kit Kat. Oh wow, Kit Kat! Good to see you in the chat. Love seeing Kit Kat come in. I haven't seen Kit Kat in a while in the chat. I've seen you in other chats, and always say hi. But I appreciate you coming in here today. Linda F is here. Linda F is in the house. Weird. That is a, I have a way to put Rachel saying weird, and all kinds of different things, and I need to do that. I got to do it. Champagne wishes and caviar dreams. That's right. Lifestyles of the rich and famous with Robin Leach. And I don't know why. I always loved the Saturday Night Live Dana Carvey impersonation of Robin Leach, even though both champagne and caviar are disgusting. That is true. I've had both. I don't like either. You are correct. Yes, I would imagine Venice does not smell. I mean, there's got to be places. It's on the water. It's got to smell like fish. It's got to be. And it was really, really cool at the Venetian. Hey, Tuber Chat, Kevin, I see you in there. My finger slipped on the StreamYard thing. Shared on Reddit. Awesome. And Izzo says, I got to ride a gondola in Venice and Disney Sea. They have gondolas in Disney Sea. I don't know why they don't have gondolas at I don't know why they don't have gondolas at Disney Springs. There's a restaurant there that is Italian Trattoria. No, not Trattoria, the other one. I can't remember. Anyway, the perfect area to have gondolas, but I don't know if gondolas can hold up on that lake. It would be a lake, not a river. Checking in, Pam Empson is checking in from across the pond again. She probably understands my Robin Leach voice. 91 SLXRS Venice smells even worse now with the influx of North African. I don't know what that means exactly, but yeah, so hopefully that wasn't any kind of a slur. It didn't sink when I was there. That's 2017. A lot can happen since then. Yes, indeed. I think that covers everybody. And there's one other thing that I want to cover real quick before we get on to the stories, and that is our celebrations. If anybody purchases anything from the Spread Shop and lets me know in the chat, we're going to celebrate that. Also, any dropped gifted memberships. Okay, anybody drops gifted memberships, anybody becomes a member of the channel, has a member milestone chat, super stickers, super chats. Actually, super chats are the best one. Any of those types of support, PayPal, buy me coffee, any of that kind of stuff. We love to celebrate that here. We celebrate you just for being here. And what does a celebration look like? Well, it's going to look a little something like this. You are not going to believe this, guys, but I think we may have a time traveler in our midst.
Doc, calm down, okay? Just calm down. It's me. It's Marty.
No, it can't be you. I sent you back to the future.
Hey, Doc, that's right, but I came back again. I came back from the future. Don't you remember last night? You fainted. I brought you home.
This can't be happening. You can't be here. It doesn't make sense for you to be here. I refuse to believe that you are here.
but she is here. That is hanging with Erica and Raps. Erica, good morning.
Okay, I'm 6 hours ahead from the future.
Good afternoon. You don't have do you have daylight savings time there? No.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we
So it is 4 o'clock in the
yeah.
afternoon. Okay. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh. Jonathan Rubin just came in. He says, "Hi, Ron. Just got here. How are things in Florida? Can't wait to try the drink and snack around the countries at Epcot when I get back." Epcot is exactly what we're going to be talking about today, and drinks, maybe a little bit too many of them. Erica, when was the first time that you went to Epcot?
Oh gosh, that was in the 80s. Ooh,
So were you a
I think I was
little
about 9.
9?
May have gone earlier, and I just don't remember if I was younger, but I remember 9 years old very clearly because I got lost, and
Oh
that was
no.
terrifying.
Did you have to
Oh,
did you
that
like
was
find a cast member? How did that work out? How did they get you back to your parents?
um, so it was a lady, one of the other guests, because it was at night. I was tired. I remember being next to my sister's stroller, and somehow I ended up with another party that had a stroller similar to what we had for my younger sister, and I looked around, could not find my parents, my grandparents, and I freaked out. I was crying. Um, and yeah, it was this lady, another guest who, because I couldn't find a cast member. I really didn't know how to identify them either. Yeah, she helped me and my grandparents found me. They just found me with this lady. She was looking around, and I think she was trying to find an employee, and she couldn't really find one either. But
I will
yeah, that
say,
was
you know, one thing that I think has changed that might help kids out today is that cast members are so easy to identify. When you see that bearded man wearing a dress, uh, just kidding, folks. Sort of kidding. No, yeah. I don't know. Did I get lost at Disney? I don't think I ever got lost at Disney, but I got lost all the time when I was a kid in malls because I loved to play in the roundabouts with the clothings on
oh,
them.
yeah.
And I would
Me
like,
and my we used
when
to
I was a
play that.
little
Me and my
kid,
dad would play hide and seek, and so my mom would get so irritated, but it was
yeah,
entertaining us while she was shopping for clothes because it was boring.
no, yeah, I totally I remember those days. So the reason I asked about Epcot, we're going to specifically talk about Epcot today because Epcot, uh, I don't know if it still is my favorite theme park in the world that I've ever been to, and I haven't been to all of them. But for a long time, Epcot has been my favorite theme park, but it's changing. And it's changing a lot. And seeing Epic Universe, um, I don't, as long as Spaceship Earth is there, I don't think anything will ever take away how I feel when I'm in the front plaza of Epcot, especially at night. If I can just sit there in front of the fountain and stare at Spaceship Earth, there are some memories that I have of when Epcot was a great place to go that's still going to be there. Like that's the good part of it. But Epcot itself has really morphed into something that it didn't used to be, and I want to chat about that. Izzo's Place says, I don't know when exactly I was there. Very early 80s. I barely remember the first host of Spaceship Earth. So I'd have been 83 to 85, 85 to 7. The first time I was there was in 1980, we had a family vacation. We stayed at the Polynesian Resort, I believe. I don't know where we stayed when we went back. I think we stayed at the Polynesian in 1980. Epcot wasn't open yet, but it was being built. And so my mom was like, we were all excited about this brand new park, Epcot, coming in 1981 or 82, whenever it was going to be coming. And so we pre-bought tickets to Epcot, commemorative tickets, which my mom and I still talk about today. What happened to those commemorative tickets? Boy, we wish we still had them. I'm sure they are worth money because they were like these, they were like the size of about a park brochure, and they had like gold leaf on them, and they were dark blue. I kind of like, in my mind, I sort of remember the commemorative ticket, but it was like, I was so excited about that. And so we took a family vacation back, and I want to say it wasn't in 82. I don't think we made it back until 83. So Epcot had been open for a little bit of time. And I just remember Epcot, to me back then, the first time I went, the Spaceship Earth, like seeing that it was like obviously iconic, still is to this day. There's a few other things a little bit like it on the Earth, but nothing that I've ever personally seen. And it's just this amazing. I know it's just a ball, it looks like a golf ball looking thing, but it's still amazing. And at night when it lights up and all that stuff, the only 50th anniversary thing that I like that came out of that are the new lights on Spaceship Earth and the things that they can do with that. And I wasn't sure how I feel about that because Spaceship Earth was so beautiful at night. But what they can do with it now, I'm like, okay, that is actually an improvement. That's the one thing Disney surprisingly improved. So it's I love that part of Epcot, but it's not quite the same as it used to be. The reason I asked about your first time is, like, do you remember how you felt about it? Did you think it was weird? Was it like not what you used to at a
Ooh,
park?
as a kid, I did not like Epcot. Um, it was boring. I
Yeah.
hated the living seas. I remember my parents dragging us on that thing, and I was just short of, uh I don't think that was in '89 though, and I was 9. I could have sworn I was a younger age. Okay, I do. Okay, I do have a vague memory when my sister was dating one of her first boyfriends, we had gone, and I was younger. Um, yeah, and I was really just not having it. Um it was a totally different park back then. It seemed like it was great for adults with all the learning stuff, but for me as a kid, it was to me, Disney was Magic Kingdom.
Yeah.
And I was a typical kid, I gravitated to that more than Epcot. As I got older, I appreciated Epcot a lot more, but as a kid, I was like, "This sucks," "Where's Mickey and where's, the characters?" I mean, they had them, but it was just a totally different feel. The focus was more on the countries and the culture, um, and learning. Looking back now, yeah, I just didn't appreciate it as a kid. I was a kid. I didn't care.
Right. You were so
I wanted to see the
different
castle.
ages.
Like, I wanted
At
to see
different
a golf
ages.
ball. I didn't care.
So the first time I went to Epcot, I was either 11 or 12. I think I was probably about 11 years old. Now, what was happening in my life at 11 years old in 1983 is that I had either just gotten or was about to get my first computer, an Apple II Plus. It was the dawn of the information age, as computers were starting to come out. This is pre everybody having access to the internet or anything like that. That wasn't a thing yet. Uh, and so for me, I was intensely excited because I was old enough to see, like, about to go into junior high school, about to go into the future. Like, that was my future was ahead of me, and Epcot was all about the future and all about the things that could be the potential, the hope that we were going um, to have. And then I went there twice more as a younger person, and the last time was when I was 16 before I came back with in 2006. Okay, so in that day and age, throughout the 80s, Epcot was about that educational experience, but they tried to make it fun and hopeful. And I think my internet just
Oh,
flashed. I don't know why.
it glitched, and it glitched again.
I'm having some internet issues here. Sorry about that,
You're back.
guys. Anyhow, yeah. So for me, those early memories of Epcot made it my favorite park in the world because it wasn't Six Flags, it wasn't the Magic Kingdom, it wasn't about roller coasters and rides.
Um, I'm waiting for
Earth.
Ron to. Oh, there we go.
Yeah, and there's some weird internet stuff going on.
Mhm.
Take that off for a minute. Let me see if I can do. I'm gonna I'm gonna switch the internet real quick. Okay. And let me see if this works. I don't know why
You're
I
still
don't know
here.
why the internet is having any issues whatsoever. I'm still here, right? Well, I haven't switched it yet.
Oh,
I'm about to switch it and see if it connects. Let me see. Two. Is it my other one that I'm looking for is not bum, 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 bum. Boy, there are some, I think my problem is like when I'm looking at the available hotspots, like all the different routers that are in my neighborhood, there are a ton around me. Just an absolute ton. It's kind of ridiculous. Whatever. I'm going to stay on this and see if it continues to work. Hopefully, we don't have the issue anymore. Everybody can still hear me now, right? You can still hear me, Erica?
mhm.
Okay, good.
Yeah,
All
you're
right.
coming in really good.
Okay, good. Anyhow, the reason I bring this up uh, is that Epcot for me, as a different kind of a park as a kid, was a magical, hopeful place. All about like you had Future World, which was about what's going to be happening in the future, and you had Horizons, and you had the songs, Living with the Land. Just make believe you're a tiny little seed that's reaching up to meet your need. As a matter of fact, it was so iconic to me that at 16 years old, the last time I went back as a kid, I bought something that I could not play. I know this sounds weird. The first CD that I ever purchased was at Epcot. And I still have it. I don't have it with me right now, but it was and it wasn't just Epcot, it was all the parks. It was the Walt Disney World CD. And at that time, it was just the Magic Kingdom at Epcot. MGM was being built, wasn't open yet. So it was all the songs that were in the Magic Kingdom. So I have Zippity Doodah because that was a thing back then, right? I have all of the Epcot songs. It's an amazing CD. So all like Horizons and the universe of energy. Here we go. Do. Yeah, I love all that stuff, right? So that to me is Epcot, and I understand the need to change parks over time. But the problem is, so they introduced the festivals. I love the festivals. I think the festivals are a good idea, but uh, the festivals seem to have morphed what the park is about. And the park has now become more specifically about getting drunk than just about anything else. And you hear drinking around the world, which wasn't necessarily a problem, but it's become a massive problem. But Disney is leaning into it.
Yeah,
And
party
so
park now.
it's like why it's really bad. So this is out of that parkplace.com. Okay. And this is by our good friend Marvin Montenero over there. Marvin, the movie monster. Uh, Epcot is no longer a family theme park. It's been taken over by rowdy, entitled adults. And I really like what he writes in the article. There's a video making the rounds on TikTok right now that perfectly captures everything wrong with what Epcot has become. 9 full-grown adults in Epcot with drinks in hand, shouting the Star Spangled Banner in front of the American Adventure Pavilion as though they were frat boys on a bender, culminating in one of them leaping into the decorative fountain and sloshing around like it's a Vegas pool party. As long as there's no sound, you should be able to see that. I have sound on it. That's see what they're doing there. They just it's ridiculous. They look so dumb. All right. Making sure that you can hear me now. Yeah. They were ejected from the park. Sure, likely trespassed. That means that they will not be allowed back into any of the Walt Disney World property, by the way. When you're trespassed, you're not trespassed from a park. You're trespassed from all of Walt Disney World property. But the damage is already done. This isn't a one-off. And here's where the real problem is, right? It's not even rare anymore. It's the natural byproduct of Disney's deliberate decision to transform Epcot from a place of cultural curiosity into an open-air cocktail crawl. Walt Disney envisioned Epcot as a community of tomorrow. Disney Imagineers later turned that into an educational family space, a place where parents and kids could explore the world together, talk to cast members from faraway nations, and learn something meaningful. By the way, the first time I ever FaceTimed anybody was in Epcot because you could do it there before it was ever a thing on our phones. Today, Epcot is a playground for boisterous adults who think drinking around the world means acting like toddlers in a tailgate lot. So here is the revamped concept art for World Celebration in Epcot. And I don't know if this is the last one that still had a fountain. It doesn't look like that one has a fountain, but there, even prior to this, there was supposed to be a fountain. They finally took the fountain out. It doesn't look, I mean, I don't know if it'll ever look like this because these are fall colors and the trees don't really turn those colors here. So we'll see. But it looks like a college quad. Let's be honest, this isn't just about one viral video. It's about a pattern of increasingly unhinged behavior. There was a man who scaled the Mexico Pavilion pyramid several years ago after a rousing round of drink around the world, not to mention reports of adults, guests weeping, staggering, shouting profanities, and losing control in public. This is Marvin, not me, but I once personally witnessed a grown man in the Japan Pavilion expose himself and urinate into a bush before wandering off unspotted by security. Another time, I heard an adult guest screaming something, whatever that profanity is, across the lagoon like it was Mardi Gras and not a family theme park. If this all sounds more like Bourbon Street, New Orleans, than a Disney park, that's because it is. And now Disney is going even further, bringing a full bar into the Magic Kingdom. Yes, the once dry heart of Walt Disney World is becoming just another spot to guzzle overpriced cocktails. Started quietly in 2012 when Be Our Guest began serving wine and beer. Then came more and more restaurants dishing out alcohol for the so-called Disney adults. The floodgates were wide open. There was once a place on Disney property for such exploits. It was called Pleasure Island. It was a popular section of the downtown Disney area that has today been transformed into Disney Springs. Featured clubs, bars, lounges, restaurants, all geared towards and exclusively offered to adults. But Disney shuttered Pleasure Island years ago, seemingly because it conflicted with the company's family-focused approach. But now they've turned Epcot into Pleasure Island. Disney, yeah, I know. Disney has forgotten who its parks were meant for. These places were never supposed to be clubs. They're not supposed to be for they weren't supposed to be for grown adults wandering around and mashing t-shirts, loudly chanting pop culture quotes and sipping cocktails before noon. For families, for parents and children discovering magic together. Epcot was a place where you could learn about Morocco, talk to someone from Japan, try real Norwegian food, and walk away a little wiser. That spirit is all but gone. And for what? A few extra bar tabs or out of your nights, cheaper laughs. Epcot Disney itself has sold its soul to entitled and infantile adults. And let's be fair here. This isn't me saying that adults without kids can't enjoy Disney World. Far from it. Dual income, no kids, adults can and should go to Disney parks if it makes them happy. But they should assimilate into the experience and not dominate it. They should remember that while they're welcome and encouraged to have fun, their fun should remain family friendly and never harm the experience of another. They should ride roller coasters, try some exotic food, gorge themselves on churros, and yes, have a drink or two in moderation. But the balance of power in Walt Disney World has shifted, and we're left with entitled infantile adults who believe that the parks are for them first and foremost. Walt Disney World is for everyone. So we should treat it that way. We should treat it with respect, not just for Walt Disney's vision and respect for the cast members trying to make a living there, but respect for the family of four who saved 5 years to afford their dream vacation, only to experience loud, rowdy, inebriate, infantile adult children selfishly turning a once magical destination into their personal frat party. That family didn't spend years pinching pennies to watch grown men shout obscenities, splash through fountains, or stumble through pavilions, treating the park like their backyard kegger. They came for memories, for magic, for the kind of wonder only Disney used to guarantee. It's time Disney remembered who built its legacy, not influencers chasing viral clips or tipsy 30-somethings looking to drink around the world, but families, kids with wide eyes, parents with camcorders, and yes, respectful adults without kids looking to capture a bit of that childlike wonder in their lives once again. Generations bound by the shared joy of something truly special. Walt Disney World. I have accidentally flipped that up to the top. I hate it when that happens. Walt Disney World is supposed to be for everyone, not just those loud enough to hijack it. Oh, the concept art for what was going to be what we never got. I still love this concept art. Boy, if they could ever do this at Epcot, I'd be very, very happy. And I think that's a really cool idea, which is the 3-level with an outdoor roof pavilion. That would be so cool. Videos like the one this week should be a wake-up call, but they won't be, because this is exactly what Disney has encouraged, a slow, deliberate erosion of dignity in exchange for buzz, clicks, and alcohol sales. What was once the most family-friendly vacation destination on Earth is becoming something else entirely. It's not magical. It is mortifying. And, I got to agree with that assessment as a pass holder. Now only a weekly pass holder. I can only go Monday through Friday. I don't go on the weekends. I still see it. I avoid Epcot at night. It's not what it used to be. When you probably went like the last time you were back, right, Erica?
Mhm. Yep,
When,
last
so
year at this time.
so last year this time, what was Epcot like for you?
It was, Walcott, kind of, not really. Um, I'll say
So
partial.
there was
I guess
still walled off.
uh, they had some, but it was, mostly finished. They hadn't finished Communicore Hall, but they had finished the middle part of the park area, whatever you wanna call it.
The the college
Um,
quad.
yeah, I mean, it's been a gradual change over the years. I think as frequent flyers, I would say, uh, you notice it and you don't notice it. Maybe it's just denial. You don't want to admit the changes, so you look for the old school Epcot wherever you can find it. But it's there's been a shift. You can definitely tell when you go. They're putting cast members wherever they can seemingly fill schedules, it seems like. Um, there's cast members that aren't representative of their countries, that are just working in that country. They're not
Yeah, I think that
as
started in
out
2020.
there. Yeah, they're not as out there with, "Oh, this is where I'm from," and, once upon a time, there was just a lot of cultural conversation between the guest and those international employees. That's not really much of a thing anymore, I've noticed. Um, I don't know,
Yeah, I mean, it used to be so fun.
they used to just they used to just say small little things like, "Oh, fun fact about my country, this is where I'm from, and this is," and they would give you, like, one little fun fact of, what they would do for whatever a tradition was or what was popular in that season. That kinda small talk doesn't really seem to exist anymore. Um, it's like they're just there to clock in and then clock out when their shift is over. That's the overall, um, impression, and then, yeah, there's definitely people more they're not as discreet as they used to be with the drinking. There's if it's a birthday or a bachelor party, it seems like that's the place to go to celebrate whatever occasion you're celebrating is the whole drinking around the world. Um, and you do see more of that than what we have seen in yesteryears. So, um, I try to ignore it because, we're always looking to find the Epcot within Epcot, if that makes any sense. Um, it's difficult. It's not the park that it used to be. Um, and as
Mm,
far
mm.
as Pleasure Island goes, that was what they had once upon a time to cater to adults, to give something to those adult tourists, like if you were there on a honeymoon or if you were just there with adults only. The problem is that they were having an issue with local gangs, um, and a rough crowd getting into that area because it was a club, and they were causing a lot of problems, like, the police were getting called frequently, and Disney decided to take out Pleasure Island and put in more of a shopping district with more upscale dining, upscale shopping to kinda deter that crowd, from lingering and loitering and causing so much trouble. Not that that still doesn't happen. Anytime we've been, you can there few here and there you can tell are locals and you question what their intentions are for being there, but it's not like it used to be. They definitely have cleaned it up. I prefer the Disney Springs to the Pleasure Island, but that's just me. And I will say, um, the Pleasure Island, I'm just going to say this, it was very easy for underage drinking. That's all I'm going to say on that. And that was a problem.
Yeah, and I never got to experience Pleasure Island. The first time I ever walked through Pleasure Island was too late. It actually had closed down. It was late 2008 and it had just closed down. All the Pleasure Island stuff was still there. And you could still walk, through the area, but everything was
Mhm.
closed. So that's the first time I ever saw it. My understanding is that Michael Eisner wanted Pleasure Island to be built to compete with downtown Orlando and that district that he thought, wow, a
Yeah,
lot of people are leaving Disney World at night to go seek nightlife downtown Orlando. Let's build something
yeah.
to compete with that. And so that
They
got
were
built.
they were going down, Church Street Station was a
Mhm, right.
popular, area to hang out. I never actually went to Church Street Station, but my older sister, went down there quite a bit. So I don't know what was really down there. I don't know if it was, like, more touristy or if it was, like, a club district. I
It's
never
still a
got to
club
go.
district. Even today, it's still a club district. That is
Is
what's
it?
there.
Okay, I wasn't sure.
I've done
But
stand-up
I'm
comedy
I'm
down there.
guessing was
So,
I'm guessing it was that area that was the competition and
yeah,
why Eisner wanted to kinda compete with
yeah.
that, but over the years, it just kind of
And
backfired. I gotta be honest with you, you weren't really missing much,
well, City Walk
it
still has that kind of
mm,
a feel at night when you're there. It still has that kind of club feel,
yeah.
like that kind of
Well,
things are going on.
so one thing about Pleasure Island, some clubs you could be 18 to get in, others you had to be 21. Which was interesting because outside of Disney, if you're as long as you were 18 years old, you could get into any club, you just couldn't technically drink, and I'm like, quotes, because come on, it's whatever. Um, but I don't know, it's just kinda one of those things, if you wanna go clubbing, that's just something you can do in your local area, you know,
Yeah,
um,
it's just it's funny to
it's
me just
like,
to
meh.
see that Epcot has become, what it has. I'm trying to see. There's something I wanted to. Oh wow, this is Maelstrom. Um, just how much it's kind of morphed since my this baby was born. Let me see if I can throw this on the screen real quick. That is a picture of Virginia and myself and baby Xander when he was not 12 years old.
Aw.
And this is at Epcot. Uh, this ride pretty much, thank goodness, this is the Grand Fiesta Tour, of course, going through there. Um, there's a there's another Maelstrom was there at that time, and we went on. Put this back. I'm trying to see if I've had it on the screen, and it was just back then. When you went to Epcot and you saw what it was versus what it is now. I mean, it's just so different. Oh, oh my gosh, the even the meet and greet for Santa Claus, it was very much the same meet and greet for Santa Claus for a long time. And I'm trying to bring that up. Ah, there it is. There it is. This was so cute. This was my boys with Santa and Mrs. Claus, and this was at the American Pavilion that they used to do this. They don't do it at the American Pavilion anymore. And they had Santa Claus, Mrs. Claus. There's my boys. They had a wonderful setup, and that's not there anymore. They now do that at the Odyssey building. It's just so much has changed about Epcot that makes it not as special as it once was. And I just wish that this is the challenge with. There's a lot of young people, I think, working for the Disney company who are in their 20s and 30s, and they are single adults. They don't have families of their own, and so they're now trying to make Epcot in their own image. And I'm talking about the creatives that work at Disney, the 30-year-olds, the 40-year-olds that think that they're 20 that don't have any kids. A lot of these people, and a lot of them have a certain lifestyles where they will never have kids because living the lifestyles that they are living, they cannot reproduce because particular activities that it takes to do that, and they won't do those. Um, and so it has changed the culture. It has changed what Epcot is about. I hope that Epic Universe really picks up the slack. I almost hate to see Epcot not be my favorite anymore. And I want to go to Tokyo Disney and see Tokyo Disney Sea because that's supposed to be amazing. We have Epic Universe, and Epic Universe is just getting started. It is a huge park already and has expansion pads ready to go. I'm very, very excited about that. So that's why I wanted to have this discussion today, just kind of to reminisce. And what do you guys think about? Like, I've seen the chat, like, kind of looking at the different things in the chat. Now it makes sense why Rufio said in Hook, all grown-ups are pirates. Some things we need to be more young at heart and not be excited to be adults so fast. Yeah.
Yeah, they're catering to the Disney adults. That's the fad or has been a trend, with I guess, in the C-suite, and like you just mentioned, there's a lot of young adult, um, cast members, not in the parks, but people that are making these decisions that are in that Disney adult mentality, and I even just the other day, I was someone had posted how they wanted more adult stuff. It was one, I think it was like the Disney Tips and Tricks Facebook group, and people will post in there very much, how they're kind of bothered by families or bothered by kids, and they wish Disney would do more adult events or after hours adult
It's
events.
gross.
And it's like,
It's
yeah, and
so
and then
off-putting,
the
so wrong.
converse and this isn't the first time people have posted that in these groups that you read them, they're like a dime a dozen. And it's really kind of sad to see people in that mentality because it's like, okay, at the end of the day, you have to understand it's a theme park. Most people that attend theme parks are families. Um, that is the main demographic. I don't care if it's Busch Gardens, SeaWorld, Cedar Park, you will see more families than just single adults or adults without kids in any amusement park. And families spend more because there's more people to feed, there's more merch to buy. So it's like, get over it. Um, you can just go have a good time and shut up. Stay with your group or your
Yeah.
friends, and leave everybody else alone. But they get in there
Yeah.
and they
And
kinda
and
complain,
and
like,
when you
"How
and when
dare
you
Disney,
and when you're
cater to families?"
and when your heels get hit by a stroller, so be it.
Yeah, and
Because
I don't mind. Look,
that's
and I've had kids, I've had them in strollers, and for the
yeah,
most part, guests are like, "Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry," and I'll very sweetly look at them and say, "I don't it's okay," I've been there, done that. I remember when my kids were that age, and I'll very
right,
sweetly
exactly.
tell them, I'll sweetly tell the guests, enjoy them while they're this little because it goes by very fast.
Way
My
too
kids are
fast.
grown
Way too
now,
fast.
and it's funny because I saw this one lady. We were waiting for Mine Train, and her kids were really getting on her nerves. I mean, she was just like, they were two boys, just very hyper rambunctious, and she kept looking over at me. I guess she thought I was bothered, and I finally looked at her and I said, "They're just boys and they're having fun." And she goes, "I know." She's like, "But I'm afraid they're bothering you." I said, "Not at all." I'm like, "I raised 2 boys. I know exactly what it's like." I said, "You guys are on vacation. Enjoy it." I said, "'Cause I gotta tell you, it goes by fast." I'm like, "Mine are in their 20s." And she looked at me and she looked at her sons, and the look on her face in that moment completely changed. She just had this like, "Okay, like, I can chill." I'm like, "Yeah." I'm like I'm like, "You're fine." Just let them be, let them be kids, and let them enjoy their childhood, you know?
Yeah. Well, I think we all want to enjoy our adulthood, childhood. You know, yes, the parks bring back childhood memories and we all get to be like children, but we don't need to act immature if people be childlike and not
Mhm.
childish. And there is a huge difference.
Right.
And I hope that Disney starts to remember this and cater back to families more than anything else again. But we have got to get going. We're going to go head you over to Culture Casino. And before we do, let's do a Culture Bear celebration. And if you have member emojis, drop those in the chat. If you don't, just drop dance emojis and celebrate along with us with Culture Bear. Wait a second. Wait a second. We are going to send you off to Culture Casino today. Thank you, Erica. Any place you want to shout out you're going to be before we take off here?
I'll be on T3PO later at 3 p.m. Eastern time, and that's pretty much it. I do have a vlog I'm uh, currently trying to edit to get on the channel. We went to a medieval fest. Was it last Sunday, I think? Or was it 2 weeks ago? I don't know, but we vlogged, and I just need to get off my dead lazy rear end and edit and put it on
There
the
you go.
channel.
Also, real quick before I do take off, for those of you that are still left in the chat, please do, if you don't mind, if you're praying people, pray for my wife because she is having an issue getting an AdSense account connected to her YouTube channel. She's more than meets all the qualifications to get monetized and has had some type of a glitch come up with being able to add the AdSense account. I don't know what's going on, but I figure prayers at least can't hurt. They can only help. So if you guys don't mind praying for her and that situation to be resolved with YouTube, we would definitely appreciate that because she has worked her tush off to get to that point. And we would really appreciate it because she deserves it. She's earned it. So, and that's just a technical thing. And if you guys understand anything about YouTube, they are very difficult to communicate or find a human being to communicate with to help you resolve anything. So it's a challenge. I know that if she keeps on, she'll find the way, but any prayers along the way will help. So thank you so much for that. And until next time, and until I find the outro, we'll see you real soon, everybody. Thank you so much. Bye. Ciao.